region and being more assertive in the region.
Yeah.
What's the appropriate strategic response to that?
Yeah, well, I say in the speech, but it's worth saying here, China has committed in the eyes of the United States the great sin of internationalism. And what is that sin? To develop an economy as big as the United States. That's the sin. They've got as big as the US. You see, and all those strategic people in the US, they get their little book out and they say, oh, state as big as us. They're licking through trying to find that, and they can't find it. You see, they will never, the Americans will never condone or accept a state as large as them, and that's what China presents. China's mere presence, I mean, they would have preferred they remain in poverty, 20% of humanity forever. But the fact that China is now, an industrial economy larger than the United States, larger, according to the IMF, 20% larger, they say, hang on, this is not in the playbook. This is not in the playbook. What an affront. So this is what this is about. It's about the maintenance of US, get this right, Laura, this is about the maintenance of US strategic hegemony in Asia. Now, this is a country which has no land in the metropolitan zone of Asia. There's no part of it. There's no Alaska, there's no islands, there's no US in Asia. It's 10,000 kilometres across the Pacific to the coast of California. So they are not a metropolitan Asian power, but they claim to be and wish to be the primary strategic power in Asia. So what are the Chinese supposed to say to that? Oh, that's okay. We've been here 4,000 years. We've developed, we've been subjugated by every bugger known to man. We've developed a decent economy, a decent standard of living, shelter, accommodation, education, that's our sin, is it? That's our sin. And we've got to be superintended by your Navy, by the US Navy.
So you would always argue that we have to find our security in Asia.
Exactly.
And you would also argue that we have to maintain our own sovereignty in our policy.
Yeah.
If those are the rules, but you do have a China challenging the orthodoxy, if you like, of the region.
It's not, but the thing is, it's not challenging.
I'm not saying they're talking about threatening, to invade anybody, but they are a rising power and they are getting more assertive in their
Well, they're not stupid.
What
would you do if you had an economy 20% bigger than the US? Would you hide your light under a bushel?
What should we do? What do you think is the appropriate response? For example, if the Chinese want to assert themselves in terms of rights against the Philippines or Vietnam, we're not talking about an invasion or war, but in terms of asserting their rights, what is the defence and strategic?
What do you think the United States in the Western Hemisphere doesn't assert its rights against Cuba?
They're another superpower.
No, I'm just saying.
That's reasonable enough